what's on the agenda this morning?
Sally's up next lady.
Oh, okay.
You want to come on in?
Morning.
Morning. Sure.
I was told this might be a good idea, so I'll
Okay.
run it by you all.
Okay.
I'm here because of the memorial fund set up at the bank here that was originally set up by Jason Bolt and Angela Long. And it's my understanding those two are still on the signature card, and I wish for that to be changed. It's also my understanding that Doris Tompkins has been appointed temporary.
Yeah, she's interim.
And I would request that she be put on the account along with either one of yourselves as a second signature, but I wish Angela Long off of that account. Inasmuch as what is all going on.
Okay,
And the bank will not even tell me anything. I wanted to know how much was in there, all the disbursements, and they're not telling me anything.
you can't unless your name's on the signature card.
Right, but being the beneficiary of the deceased, you know, that, and if it's not handled correctly, I have to pay taxes on it, so that I'm also
Okay.
trying to alleviate. And those that were designated things that fund was, that the family requested the fund be used for, and to my knowledge, nothing's been done with any of it.
Not even that bench that's over there?
Hmm?
Not even the bench that was...
As far as I know, nobody, Mom went knocking door to door looking for donations for that bench.
Was that right?
And I was very upset when I found that out.
Is there something in writing what the fund's supposed to be used for? Can you?
The family at the funeral home, when we were planning the funeral, and Jason Bolt was present, along with the dispatcher from Reno County at the time, all the children, the sisters, and his parents. It was to be towards the park bench, the marker on the highway, and the remainder to be split between the fire and fire and police in Maxville, and be done with the account. And I still wish for that to be done.
Understand, but did we have anything to reference that back?
I don't.
Set up?
No, I don't know anything about it. That's.
Nothing in our minutes reflects that.
And it's my understanding there's over $4,000 in the account. I don't know how much was originally in the account, accumulatively, so.
I guess we can look into it and see what we can do.
But, you know, I want to order the marker for the highway, but can't afford to do it on my own, and that's what this fund was also supposed to be for. The city of Maxville just purchased a new fire truck, and Tim had a lot to do with the purchase of that truck. And there was a lot of equipment in the car that was destroyed that was not covered by insurance. So those are the reasons the family decided to do what they did, because those were the two entities he was dedicated to.
Okay, and you said that this was discussed in front of Mitch Minnis, you said at the top?
Yes.
Okay, I guess for now, all we can do, we can look into it and see what we can do.
Okay, like I said, all I have is a partial list. I don't even know if everyone's names are on here that,
As far as the donors, you mean?
yes.
Okay.
And so,
Okay, well, we'll see if we can help you out, okay?
okay, I would appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Thanks. What else do you have? Do you have anything?
No.
Okay, we'll reset.
Mark Fisher called in. Jerry Long, well, you know, he did know.
And feedlot people, where are they?
That's your last
They
name.
were here last week.
Oh, so you just want to talk to me then? Okay, fine.
Yeah, sure.
I'll tell you what I know.
All right.
They were here last week.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you don't have any questions? Well,
They're concerned, of course, with their out there, you know, what can be done to solve their problems and what we can work as maybe the township and the county and them together trying to solve their problems for them. And maintenance, if we can, I guess, not, I don't know how to say help out, because we're kind of limited in our resources, what we can do. But if we can assist out there, or would help with the grading or something like that.
I think their concern was grading and drainage.
And it is a problem, now, they use it, it's just such a heavy travel road and stuff, and with the wet weather, I bet it's gonna really bad this year and stuff. I know, he said you've been trying to work with him, you know. as much
Who
as
did you
can.
talk to? Who was?
Oh, we had 3 of them.
There was 3 of them,
Dennis,
Carr,
Paul, Ron Carr, and, I don't know,
Probably the man in feedlot man.
Harold.
Redheaded guy,
I
kind of.
don't know him.
That was the car guy.
Car's a little redheaded guy.
Uh-huh.
Well, what were they were they asking for anything specific? Did they have any ideas of their own?
They just come here and say, hey, we just wanna know what we can do to try to make it a little better out there.
And I had an understanding they would help out too.
What do you guys think? Have you got any ideas?
well, what I thought the way we were gonna get involved, partially at least, was to try to help your maintainer man, you know, give him some instruction, Phil or somebody, you know, that's run one for.
Well, that couldn't hurt. That's a
You
good
have a new
start.
maintainer guy, is that what?
That's what they said, is
That's what
concerned,
they
I wasn't sure that, you know, that they had more expertise, what he was doing, maybe could work a little better, he pulled stuff up.
Oh, I think that's a good start. I mean, he's a competent man, but he's never done it.
Well, that's, you know,
And that's the impression I got.
that's
And
what I
there's
was, I thought too.
and I think he's capable of learning. That was, you know, an issue we had before. But we reached a certain level of expertise, and that was it. And this guy, I think, is capable of becoming a good maintainer man as long as they don't run him off.
You would be opposed to have somebody from, maybe from county, one of our better operators to come there.
Absolutely.
Well, Phil was here, but that was one of the things I suggested, that, you know, we get somebody out to give instructions and, you
It
know,
would be
more or less
wonderful
training.
if we could do that for the townships anyhow. If there was
Yeah.
something, but, you
Yeah.
know, that's a different subject. I don't really wanna get off on that.
But, you know,
But I think that's a good idea.
I just
Hey
wonder
Cindy,
if
can you see if
maybe
you can get hold of Philip,
they,
see if he can come to the commission meeting real quick?
the contractor would start with, they build the road up and then the township maintain it.
Well, I don't think any of these are bad ideas.
I don't know, I mean, it's
But they're,
their traffic that's tearing up the road.
yeah. And everybody else.
But
And
have
that's,
they,
see, that now,
Everybody else.
and this isn't criticizing the feedlot, but you gotta understand that if we focus on just that road,
Oh, yeah.
all the other ones have
sure,
been.
absolutely, that's what,
And the guy, when I went down there, they were complaining to me, and I went down to look at the other side of the feedlot maintaining at the time, you know. Where's he supposed to be, everywhere at once? I mean,
Well,
and as soon as I said something to him, well, he was ready to quit right there. Cause he was, you can't believe how
Well,
exasperating a job that is.
you've got the whole township to take care of it, and you can't just concentrate on one
you know,
area.
in our case, I think if we go up there and do a bunch of work up there, then every township in the county has the same right for us.
Well, I understand your point. Honestly, guys, the real solution is to make that mile or mile and a half or 2 miles of county road. And this is my opinion. I'm not speaking for the board, but honestly, I don't think they disagree a bit. And the real problem, when it comes down to it, is the feedlot does not generate enough money to the township to keep the road maintained, just based on the amount of traffic it has to carry. And the type of roads that they are. I mean, it's just the same roads. We can talk about a lot of little things that'll help and are good ideas, but the real solution is to make it a county road. I've listened to Golden Belt's point of view for a number of years now.
Sure.
I've driven the roads and I've lived in the township, served on the board. I'm not gonna say there's no other way, but it's the only thing that seems viable to me at this point.
Come on up, Joe.
There he is.
Well, that's quick response.
Must have been
I was
sitting down
there.
there.
I just
Hi there.
just pulled up. Oh,
Hi.
it's Monday. It's almost
Monday every day, isn't it? It's in my house. But anyhow, that's, I think, the ultimate solution. I don't know, I don't know how that would work, how you could go about it, but that's really what needs to happen.
Well, for a start now, we discussed or suggested maybe having someone from the county that's experienced on the road patrol to, they talked about that last week.
Yeah.
Would you be opposed to get someone we could let work for a while or to help them out?
I'm not opposed to it.
He thought it'd probably help, maybe because he said he's a good man, he just doesn't have the experience.
Sure.
And to know.
A little training and just somebody that can spend some time with him and knows what they're doing,
It's usually just like a couple hours and then let him go.
A little bit goes a long way.
Well, and then, because people tend to get nervous,
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
you let him go and let him do some things and then come back later.
Right, the trouble with
And
us,
ask him
and
questions.
especially as a board, we're not trained,
Sure.
and everybody has their own opinion on how it should be
How it should be
done.
done.
So he's
Oh, yeah,
got
there's
three
lots of
different opinions, and it's like, so
Three
he
of
needs
those.
one voice that actually has some knowledge behind it to actually tell him what to do and how to do it, and the rest of us will keep our mouths shut, by and large. I think that's a good start, immediate start.
Okay. Have you put rock and stuff on, have you rocked that road
Yeah.
quite a bit and everything?
Yeah,
Just
I don't know how deep back in the history of this do you guys wanna go.
that's fine, just-
We've been here before, and, well, I guess it's probably been 4 or 5 years ago now, I lose track of time, but we had a real serious meeting with Merlin, the board sat down with him, and, we were like, well, what can we do, And I tried to talk to him at the time about, I explained to him what we all know, that basically Golden Belt Feeders doesn't generate a lot of money above and beyond what it would if it was just farm ground. Enough to generate what it would cost to keep that road up. I know Merlin pays a lot of taxes. He writes a big check. And his attitude is, I write a check for these, I don't know what it is, but it's a lot. I ought to at least have a decent road in my feedlot. I can empathize with it. The reality is the township gets very little of that money. And it's just not enough there. The reality is that the township would be better off without Golden Belt. Now, I'm not saying that the county would be. He does provide a lot of jobs. He does do a lot of good things for the county, and he does pay a lot of taxes. He supports our local schools.
But your proportionate share is, what he pays is
It's just not enough, I mean, you can look at our budget, I said, here's the books, Merlin, show me how we can do it. I'd build you a road today. What are you gonna do? So we at the time, what I wanted from him, I said, I called it a head tax, you can call it whatever you want, but I said, what doesn't seem fair is, there's cattle in here that are owned by people from Iowa, from Illinois, from Washington DC, I don't know. And what are those owners of those cattle doing to support the roads in the county and the township?
That's not it.
Well, what do you mean? They're the ones that ultimately are generating this need, this demand on our local taxpayers and citizens. It's the cattle that are tearing up the roads in essence.
Church coming in there.
And what are they doing to generate income to help maintain those roads? And the answer is nothing. Absolutely nothing. They pay no tax in any way, shape, or form.
That's an idea, I never saw that before, but.
So I said, 25 cents a head. I had figured it out at the time, roughly, because I don't know exactly how many head he runs in this, and that's 25 cents a head. And in other words, a pen of 100 head is going to pay $25. It's not going to make a difference on their profit or loss sheet. That money goes directly to the township or held in some fund that stays exactly here. That money coming to the county, and this is nothing against the county, but it gets diluted.
Absolutely.
We get our 10 or 12% or whatever, and that money can go to a road over here, wherever it's needed the most, right? Not necessarily on Golden Belts Road. Said if we keep it here, we'll put it on your road, and you know, we'll put it exactly where it's needed. And it'll generate around $10,000 a year, which is roughly figured. $10,000 a year would maintain that road. That's what it needs every year, and rock and gravel. You know,
I
good.
think that's.
What was he receptive down in? No, yes.
Oh my God.
Wrong question.
I'm on tape, so I can't say that. His basic response was, that would be an unfair, I'd be at an unfair economic disadvantage compared to the other feedlots that aren't paying that same tax. And the ironic part of that statement was, we had listened to him for 15 minutes say how much it was costing him to have bad road because he was charged extra for the feed coming in. He couldn't keep employees. It was tearing up his equipment, and he had figures in the hundreds of thousands of dollars that it was costing him.
But a small amount like that was,
So when I pointed out the difference, he got mad. He didn't get mad. He said, fine, what will it take to get this road? And I said, well, let's start out with $10,000. He bought $10,000 worth of rock. We put it on. We had a road for a year. And when I went back the next year, said, well, we need to do it again. How come I gotta buy rock for my own road? I paid taxes. It's just like starting all over. I understand his point, but it is a solution.
how many truckloads, he said 8,000 or something, he said it more.
It's a phenomenal amount of traffic.
But
Heavy loads too,
it's
up and down.
feedlot traffic.
It is, and you know, I'm not gonna argue in his behalf or against him, but he is an important business, he's got a right to a decent road.
Okay, I understand that.
And honestly, the township benefits, well, that's a matter of opinion, but very little. You know, in my opinion, it's a negative. The township would be better off without him there, from an economic point of view. But the county wouldn't. The county does benefit from it, Dillon's benefits from it, the courthouse benefits from it, the taxes and the people that he employs, you know. So, you know, if the county comes in and says this is a county road and in order to maintain it, we're gonna have to have a head tax, kind of like I'm talking about. The problem with that is that money goes to the county and you guys don't necessarily have to spend it on this road.
You know, that's not a bad idea. I think all these feed yards, they carry a lot of heavy traffic, you know, would be,
Well, I don't-
have some type of head.
I don't, well, and that used to be a popular tax. I think it was, and for the exact reason I just talked about, those, especially in a commercial feedlot, those cattle really are not
No,
paying their share of the taxes.
no, and the people that own them aren't necessarily the people around here that own the cattle.
Absolutely. Now, Merlin owns a lot of his own cattle, but whether he does or doesn't, that's really irrelevant. But it's the cattle themselves that are actually generating the demand on our public services. They are. They're the ones ultimately that create the problem. And they truly pay nothing. Oh, and I shouldn't say that, because, and I don't know the tax rules by heart, but I know the Golden Belt as an entity pays a higher share of taxes, or that half section that is considered Golden Belt feeders. If it was irrigated ground or even dryland ground, you know, it's a higher, but it's not. So I think the township roughly gets $4,000 a year more than they would if that was farm ground. I don't know that exactly. But tell me how I'm gonna maintain all those roads with that much extra money. In other words, if Golden Belt wasn't there, our budget would be $4,000 less.
But your workload would be at least that much less.
Oh my gosh. You know, we just wouldn't have the issues that we have now. We would have decent roads. We've got a wealthy enough township with the oil revenue now that if it was just farmed and nothing, we would have decent roads. Not because we'd have great roads, but the traffic would be so much smaller
And lighter.
And you know this as well as I do. You can dump $1,000 in one pothole so fast that it's It's just ridiculous, and then you wonder where it all went, you know, and then so if you've got 100 of them, some people that should know have asked me, well, why don't you just raise the taxes enough to just do this, just do it and get it right. I said, okay. Do you have any idea what that would be? Well, no, but just do it. Well, North Seward last year, which has much better roads and doesn't have golden belt features, had a benefactor that was willing to just buy rock. And the last estimate I was given, and this isn't exact, somewhere between $60,000 and $100,000 out of their own pocket. They had good roads. It's gonna cost $250,000 to fix South Seward up. And that wouldn't be anything like North Seward. That's just making it so people can get up and down the road. And then you're gonna have to do it again next year. That's my point with Merlin. You can't spend $10,000 and walk away. It's gotta be there next year.
Continual maintenance.
And next year, and next year, and next year, and next year.
Well, they all take continual maintenance. I mean, you let maintenance go and it.
But we can't maintain that road just by grading it. It's got to have the rock continually added to it, and the gravel. And it's not just a matter of running the road grader over. Because he does. He does it a lot. He doesn't neglect it. In fact, he does it more than the other roads, but it's still, you could do it every day. But when the hole blows out, unless you're there with a load of rock, you're gonna just have a bigger hole the next day. And it's nobody's fault. You know, you can blame the manure haulers, you can blame the truck drivers, you can blame Merlin if you want, but it's nobody's fault.
Well, it's in that sand base and
It's just,
there's just.
but even in the good roads, when they haul manure up in North Seward, and they're on good roads, they get blown out and they get tore up. But you're right, the sand base makes it even more challenging. So, you know, there's two ways you could do it, and the first way, which I tried, which I think is still the best, you gotta have consistency. You can't just do it once and walk away, and I don't know that that would ever happen. And the second real solution, of course, is that it would become a county road, and the county would assume responsibility. In the meantime, your ideas now, I think, are definitely worth pursuing, and
Well, it's started, yeah.
yeah, anything that, you know, any assistance you're willing to give us, we're more than happy to take. But training our road grader man, and he's not bad, but he does need somebody just to, we talk about crowning the road and some little things like that, and he gets conflicting information.
Yeah.
From people. And actually, you can't just say, this is how you grade a road, because in South Seward Township, every road is different. Some roads are pretty hard, and you can just, and you can drag it from one side to another. Some roads, you pull it from both sides, and then where he carries that heavy semi-traffic. You know, guys say, well, it's just pure sand, and honestly, you've got just a one-lane road when I'm done. One lane's better than none. Well, see, you gotta adjust to that. We don't, a lot of those roads are old 40-foot right-of-ways in the trees, and the fences are right there, and there's no ditches, and the ditches are up here, and the road's down here, you know. You can't just pull them in and build them up, because it's pure blood sand. And then, of course, the cost of just clearing them out. I say $250,000. I don't think that would do it. It would over time, if that was our budget. What would our mill levy be? From 60,000 to 250,000. Yeah, it makes you shiver. I don't know that it could even legally be done, but and that's just a figure off the top of my head. It may not be enough.
Well, I guess
Well,
gotta start some
yeah.
ideas anyhow. That's what we've kind of looked at, some ideas maybe.
why don't you get together and get somebody up there and give him a couple hours instruction and let him do his thing, or
He's there
Next-
back up and get some more and get back.
next day or whatever, and
Okay.
I think we're gonna do that with quite a few township
I
operators.
think, like Roger said, I think that would be a real good idea with all your townships if we could do it.
Yeah, if you had some sort of a
Little school.
school.
Well, actually, they've got schools and stuff, they have different times, they talk
Yeah,
about
it's a one-day deal.
one day, but and I think some of you actually attended sometime, didn't they?
That's, I don't know how well you, sometimes your equipment manufacturers do have some, I'm not gonna call it propaganda, but some tapes, show you the basics.
Well, I think he's beyond the basics. I think he needs some hands-on training where he just, this is how you, he needs to learn how to pull in a ditch and fill in a mud. You know, he can create a road. He needs to learn how to do that and do it properly and timing. He needs to learn about crowning a road and how to do that more effectively. And for some reason, that's really hard. Guys either leave that much loose dirt in the middle or it's a flat road. They can't seem to have, you know, in between and little things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great. But as far as, you know, the other part of this, in my opinion, you got basically two approaches. I didn't know how hard they were pushing. I know they want it to be a county road, that's fair. Well, the last time Roland was threatening to force us to pave it and this and that. And we were talking, and of course, everybody just kind of bows their neck and goes, "What's your attorney?"
That would be scary.
Well, the scary part of
How
it,
much it would cost to help.
the scary part is, unless you're putting concrete down, it probably wouldn't work, would it?
No.
I mean, you'd have to build it like an
Yeah,
interstate
you have to,
highway.
girls would be happy, consider more rough rider too.
Oh,
Do that by right away to do something like that, it's gonna be, it'd be one thing after another.
So I think these ideas I'm promoting are better. I mean, I think that for the county and for Merlin, or for the township, you know, as far, and I don't think you could just put asphalt on there and walk away.
And that'd be pretty thick, and you'd have to get the base and haul lots of rock in.
Darn good.
Well, like the one down here in Pratt County, they built into the ethanol, was like $3 million.
How far was that?
It's about 2 miles, is it altogether, probably.
2 or 3 miles.
It's about 1.5 miles to 2 miles, I believe.
So not much different than what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Gives us a basis of.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I go to other feedlots like Pawnee County or Great Bend, they have good roads. Who has made those roads? Is it the county or is it the township? They actually have paved roads, most of them, to their facility.
Some of those, a lot of them are in different soil type, it's a lot worse,
I
a lot
understand
better
that. It's easier.
soil over there.
Yeah, yeah, I understand that.
I mean, for
I
road
bet if
wise.
you check into that, the feedlots have a lot of money invested in that themselves.
It would be interesting to find out. I have
I
no
bet
idea,
that would be.
but I do know that, you know, they do have good roads. And Merlin goes to those feedlots and goes, "How done like you have?" Why am I being picked on?
Location.
Well, as long as it's built right next to the blacktop.
They're not as far,
They're
you're
not as
right.
far away out there. They're
Which is a legitimate criticism, but on the other hand, do you want Golden Bell here a mile from town? I mean, he did Stafford County a favor, he didn't do me a favor, but he did Stafford County a favor in locating where he did, you know, so, yeah, location, but he did that on purpose. And in that regard, you know, it's a better location, at least for the population centers of the county. So, give him a little credit there. I mean, yeah, he could have built it on the highway maybe, I don't know, I don't think he had the land at the time.
I don't think so, yeah.
But it could have been a lot closer to St. John too. Or Maxville or Stafford. And it wasn't, and that's an asset to the county.
Okay.
So, you know,
Thanks a lot, Roger.
Thanks a lot.
Coming in.
all right.
Just maybe some ideas and some starts anyhow. so
Wonderful.
Appreciate it.
I don't know if you can get a hold of Mark or Mike himself, if you can give him some training or whatever, how you wanna work that out.
You guys don't have anything else?
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Phil.
No, we can get hold of him, probably easier.
Morning.
TJ?
How's everybody today?
And you?
Oh, hanging in there. I didn't really have a whole lot to see if you guys had anything or.
Well, apparently Maxville's unit is not cooperating.
It's kind of funny too, because every time I've been over there so far, it started fine.
Really?
No problems. Sanders over at Stafford and asked him about it, and he told me some things to look for and check on it, and everything did just like it was supposed to, so. I got an appointment scheduled for it tomorrow to take over there and let him look at it and see.
Crack right up to you then.
Yeah, I don't have any
Diesel?
problems getting it started, yeah.
It is diesel.
Yeah, so, he said there could be maybe, a fuel filter or something, he didn't really know without looking at it, but, like I say, I don't understand it, because it starts fine whenever I go over there, so.
I don't know either, you know, but I had both Greg and Donna call me.
Well, they have a problem with down the road or anything?
No, it's just
Just
starting,
starting up.
Just starting is what they said.
yeah, and I think a lot of it too, maybe just because it sits so much and it doesn't get used very often, so, I mean, it very well could be.
Don't they go start it every so often?
I don't know.
It should be,
That
yeah,
may be,
started
that may be part of the problem
Yeah,
too.
that may
Could
be.
be suggested to
Right.
them to.
That may be what we need to start doing, is go down and start it, let it run for 5 or 10 minutes every day.
Yeah.
It's not gonna hurt it, so, but, I don't know, Jerry said he'd look at it and see what he could find out, and, we'll go from there.
Okay.
So, he's about got we've got an alternator ordered for the ambulance that's sitting over there, he's gonna get it fixed up. I don't know if Doris had mentioned that we'd gotten an email from, a service in southeast Kansas, they put it up on, what they call listserv, I guess, it's like a statewide thing. And they're gonna be looking, or needing a backup ambulance here in a few weeks, cause they're sending one of theirs in for service. And so we called them and asked them when they'd need it and everything, and, and then they said they'd let us know if they would need it or whatever, so they said they'd either lease it or, you know, work something out with us if they did need it, so.
I see he had it up on Friday on by there, maybe he's working on it then.
Yeah, I talked to him this morning, he said that, he should have an alternator probably today or tomorrow, and they have that thing up, and it should be back in working order, so. But anyway, but yeah, we thought that could be an opportunity for that, rather than just sitting, if somebody could get some use out of it or something, or, and then maybe down the road or whatever, or, I mean, if we're not gonna be using it, maybe try to sell it or something. Might be something good, we could put that money back for whenever we get ready to replace one. So, but, beyond that, about it, I guess. So, day by day.
Okay.
Everything working fine in the fire end of it.
So far, it's been slow, we really haven't been,
It's been wet.
yeah, it's been wet, we needed the moisture, so. But, yeah, just kinda holding on, see what happens, and like I say, as far as any replacement equipment, I think probably the end of the year, we'll look at that, as long as we can make it then. So, I feel like we can wait that long. So.
Okay. Anybody else have any other questions?
That's it.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Stephanie.
Thanks,
Yep.
Jay.
We'll recess.
I'll make a motion, we go into a 10-minute executive session to discuss non-elected personnel.
Second.
Moved in second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
We're in executive session. Okay, are we in agreement then? I guess we have officially decided to employ Kevin Payne as a new emergency service director, is that correct?
Yes.
I would make a motion that we hire Kevin Payne as emergency services director.
I'll second that motion.
Moved in second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. All right. Anything else right at present?
No.
We'll recess.
I'll make a motion, we go ahead and accept this grant of right-of-way to, Embark. I'm in the belts for some reason today.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved in second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
afternoon.
So it's supposed to be about 40s tonight, then, that's what I said.
Yeah, that front supposed to come in, it's supposed to drop down in the 50s this
Heater
afternoon.
work on your, does the heater work on your mother-in-law?
You got the trailer downstairs?
Yeah, she electric heater, and she just, she'd love it yesterday, she liked that. Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Phil.
Okay, we'll recess again.
All right, I have a quote from Davis Plumbing on repair or update of the Maxwell station. Actually, this quote, what he gave me, was to fix the trailer plumbing. But then I talked to him about, you guys know what's going on?
Yeah, no toilet,
Yeah. Which they haven't had for
2 years.
at least,
Alright.
because the water pipes were broken. So, when he brought this in, I said, how much would it cost to just put a toilet in the ambulance garage? And he said it'd be about the same. But labor was kind of high, so I think we should negotiate that, even if he is my son-in-law. Which is kind of.
So, just to put it, I mean, just put it in the ambulance building where it is, but it's all over there, forget about this
Forget about the
the
trailer.
trailer shot in,
Oh,
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
It's not worth,
It needs
if
tore
you
down.
put any money in that, you're crazy.
I think so too.
It's right, just needs tore down.
Triple table, huh?
Probably needs tore down, just have it all in one building,
Yeah, just
yeah.
make a little meeting room in there and.
Yeah,
I mean, you just haul that trailer off, you do it yourself.
think-
Get rid of the rats.
Yeah, they die in the ductwork, and then you can't even breathe in there. But it may not be that much, but he said just tell them that much and then you'd be prepared to. Because I think they have to put some plumbing in. So, I don't know.
And the ambulance building is heated anyhow.
Yeah, it's heated anyhow.
It'd
Yeah,
be
so
a lot
they
more
would have
sense
any-
if I had
you
paid the
wouldn't have
gas
any-
bill to the other one over there and
Yeah,
get rid
if
of
I
it.
was you, I'd just,
I thought
X
it
out
tore down a
that
long time
trailer.
ago anyhow, that's pretty
Yeah.
ratty.
yeah. Didn't bring money.
I would think that would be the best idea.
well, I do too.
Yeah.
After you mentioned that, when
Yeah.
I was talking to you, I still think that's the
Yeah,
best
you can
idea.
have that. It may
So
not-
he'll put in a bathroom.
Yeah. There's a shower in there.
Oh,
you
there
have-
is.
yeah.
So the
And there's a
drains,
sink in there,
Oh, it's all.
just no toilet.
no toilet.
Maybe I can go look
There may be some,
and really
yeah,
do his bid for
Yeah.
just putting in a toilet.
well, yeah. I think you should, that seems a little high.
Then we changed our idea and just go ahead and put a stool on the ambulance.
Yeah, and I suppose there'll be, if you want any privacy, there'll have to be some kind of partition or something.
Yeah, but that's,
Not his problem.
And we get somewhere, probably.
Okay.
put up shower curtain,
Something.
hang a pipe, put up a shower curtain.
Can I just have a 10-minute executive session for personnel?
I mean, we have a 10-minute executive session for elected personnel.
I'll second that.
Move to second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. You're in executive session.